Hey everybody, it's Tanya here. How are you doing today? I am sitting here kneeling on my wheelie chair because I wanted to do a sketchbook flip through for you today. And things have been really hectic for me. I don't know if you've seen any of my posts lately, but I found out that I am going to be moving. So I'm in the middle of trying to find a place and get stuff sorted. So not on here as much as I'd like to be, but I thought for a fun little treat, I'm going to share my sketchbook so far. Now, this is my cheap and cheerful Canson XL. It's not the highest quality, but it's great for just practicing and trying things out. And so a lot of these are a 1 hour portrait, and it's just me playing around. So this is my first one. And I think because of the limitations of being able to zoom in, I'll just bring it up closer so you can see some of the details. And so this I did in an hour, and having a fun time doing curly hair and trying to do my proportions right. And this one was, I leave myself these little notes here. So this one was Core Pyrrole Red, Hamsa Yellow, and Payne's Gray. And I found it a little challenging trying to do it quickly and get the color and tone that I'm used to doing. But it was fun to start. Now this next one, talk about learning from your mistakes. I liked how the drawing came, but I've been working on my 3/4 proportions and not super happy with it. But it was fun to do red hair and to do the skin tones a little differently and to try and do this in an hour. That was my whole challenge. But the problem I really had was right here because I wanted to make sure that I was getting dark enough and I just had too much water and the paper just kind of gave up and said, too many layers, we are not going darker. And so that's where I got stuck. But I did enjoy how her eyes came out. I thought that's pretty good. So this is again, I think all of these are, that one was Core Pyrrole Red and Yellow Green Gold by Core and Payne's Gray by Core. This one was really fun because this was me saying to myself, go faster, go darker, because I tend to take a long time on my regular portraits and do many, many layers. But this one, I thought, let's see how fast I can go and how dark I could go. And I just couldn't get my head around it because it was a very different way of working. So you can see here, did a little bit of speed backgrounding. I like how this turned out. People hate watercolor blooms. I love them. I think they're so pretty when you do them with intention or not. Sometimes they just show up. But I like it. I think she turned out really well for how quickly I did it. And I think that is, again, those same 3 colors. So that's Core Pyrrole Red, Payne's Gray, and Core Yellow Green Gold. Now this next one, she was this very gothic looking woman, even though the picture was quite modern, the reference picture. And I had a lot of fun with this too, especially doing the illusion of lace and the neckline. And that was really enjoyable. I did the watercolor blooms again. I really like how her eyes turned out, but then her hair just kept looking like a big pancake. But overall, yeah, not too bad. I think I spent more time on her. She was about, not about an hour. And that one, this is Burnt Sienna, Payne's Gray, and Pyrrole Red. So I'm experimenting with the 3 color palette at this point. And don't mind me, I was eating blueberries. I cannot get the blue out. Anyone got an idea how to do that? Anyway, lots of fun. The burnt sienna was nice. It gives it a very, it works with the period, right? It's got a kind of an antique feeling. And even though it's a very goth kind of image, it's all warm tones, so it doesn't feel too creepy. This one was a lot of fun. I really love how this turned out. It's very unlike my usual style because it's not so focused on realism and detail as much as it was layering and letting the layers do what they wanted. So you can really see in her eye that you can see the water lines from where I did the different glazes. And I really actually quite like how that turned out. I like how her cheek looks. I like the earrings. I love that this bloom kind of happened right where her shoulder is. Sometimes things just work out. And so I really enjoyed this one. And she was done with Daniel Smith Quin Coral, Core Green Gold, and Payne's Gray, and about an hour and a half on that one. This one I did not too long ago, and I've kind of hit the groove with the colors that I like. And so now what I'm using is Daniel Smith Quin Coral, which is, I think, one of my favorite paints of all time, Core Payne's Gray, and the Core Green Gold. And the variance in color is amazing. I mean, this is a very, very, very pale skin tone. And hopefully my little Android phone will focus and you can actually see the freckles. Hopefully. But I love how this one turned out. Now, I did spend double the time on this. I think this was a 3-hour because I kept coming back till, once the layers dried. But I really enjoyed how she turned out. And I had a lot of fun doing the shadow and forcing myself to go darker than I usually do. And it looks good. But the red hair, my gosh, that's fun. So many different colors in the red hair. Love, love, love. So that was a good time. I really enjoyed that. And she was, about 3 hours. And then this one, which was the last one I've done, got a drawing for the next painting coming up. But this one, you might have seen because I've had her all over my social media because I love how she turned out. My Android is just wanting to not bring the colors up, but look at her eye. That turned out so great. And it was a big challenge for me again, very challenged with those shadows. But I love her freckles and I love how the earrings look metallic because at first, a good lesson for anybody that's doing portraits or painting in general, when you go through the ugly phase, and trust me, it's going to happen, keep going. Because I was ready to just scrap it because I could not get these earrings to work. And you know what? She looks great. And I think she's one of my favorites that I've done in a long time. I had so much fun. Look at the hair. There's so many colors in there. You don't see it from a distance, but it's just lots and lots and lots and lots of strokes. And I really had a fun time with that. So she was the last one I did. And again, it's that trio of colors, the Core Green Gold and Payne's Gray plus the DS Daniel Smith Quin Coral. And then this is the next one. It looks kind of creepy until you see her eyes up close. It's actually an eyebrow. It'll look a little different when painted. And this is me pushing myself to do really extreme angles. I don't think I've got the proportions quite right yet, but we'll see how she goes when we paint it in. So that's the next one. So there we go. That's my little sketchbook tour of portraits so far. I hope you enjoyed it. And also, I just wanted to say a big thank you to you for hanging out with me and Portrait Pals. I made this group for us as a small group to just hang out, share our work, talk to each other, ask people for critiques or feedback. Don't be afraid to share the challenges as much as the wins, because that's really important as an artist. And I think social media really has us trained to think we only have to show the good things, but you know what? We don't have to. We can do all of the work that we're doing and encourage each other, support each other, learn from each other, look at each other's techniques and ask questions. And that's why this group is really about hanging out in the chat room, which for me is a great place to talk about what's going on, but also for you, an opportunity to connect and chat and support each other. So I hope you take advantage of that. And thanks for hanging out. I've only had it for a couple of months and I think we're at 45 subscribers. So yay, thanks for being here. And I'll catch you guys next time. And hey, let me know in the comments if you're interested in joining me to do a live video at one point. We can just chat, or we can draw, or we can do anything. It's all sorts of fun. Okay, I'm Tanya. I will catch you next time from the rolly chair with the spinny seat. It's too hot today. I'm losing it. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.